Hello. Okay, so today we are going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. Thank you so much for being here. First question, why did you start this channel? I'm gonna be really honest and say that, it's not just because I love books or whatever, but because as an author and an emerging author, you have to have a platform. You have to be on social media, you have to be engaging with people, and you have to, nowadays there's no getting away without that. And way back when, you used to be able to separate the art from the artist, but now that's not even possible. Everything is so determined on who you are and your beliefs and values, and everybody wants to know as well. And getting used to these kind of things, like being on camera, because as soon as you do publish a work, you're going to be immediately put in cameras and on radio and writing blog spaces. So it's really important to me that I start doing that now and getting comfortable with these things and basically testing the waters and testing what I can say and can't say and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully finding people who will support the authentic me and who share my obscure tastes in literature. That's the main reason why I want to do this and start this, because I have, my friends are amazing, my family is amazing, and they are completely and utterly supportive, but they're not interested in the things that I'm writing, and they're they're not gonna read it. They're not my audience, really. And I want to find them. I really want to find the people who will actually care about my writing and read it from a place of entertainment. That would be amazing. And nowadays too, if you get signed with a publisher, the publisher will often ask, can you start a Booktube, BookTok, Bookstagram? Because most of the sales responsibility falls on the author. And if you don't have, if you're not a famous person or got famous parents or anything like that, you're sort of these are the kind of things you need to do to be able to promote your work and promote you and everything like that. It's tricky, but it's how our publishing industry works now, and you'd want that good rapport with the publishers as well, doing what they ask of you. And if it helps the sales of your book, why wouldn't you do it? And I also want to engage with people who like the things that I like, because that's nice. Okay, next question. What are some unique and fun things you can bring to Booktube? That's a bit of a scary question straight off the bat there. Okay, well, I love books the same as everyone else. I published a self-published children's book when I was 18, so I know all that kind of process. You can't even find it on Amazon anymore though, because there is zero demand for it, which is fair, but I'd like to start these sort of things back up again. I also have a webtoon series, webcomic online, one that's free to read. It's called Horn-Nhei, and it's spelled like horn, and then the main character's name is Nhei, so it's Nhei. I will leave the link in the description. But it's this high school BL/GL, very queer love story, and it's fun, it's funny. I did all the art for it as well. I need to get back into it. That's what I definitely need to do. And I've finished a YA book that I'm in the process of editing still. And I'm doing a lot of different things. I've also got a collaborative poetry book with some friends of mine called Middle Finger Notebook. So it's cool, and I'm doing some of the illustrations for that mostly. And I'm in my third year of creative writing. I have published some different things online. I'm now going to be the co-president of our literary salon, and I'm also doing a youth ambassadorship with Brisbane Writers Festival, and I'm also going to need to do an internship soon. So there's a lot of different things. You can tell that I love this community. I love getting involved in it all, and I want to be in everything. I want to dip my finger in every single pie that I possibly can. I love it. So, and I want to share all those different things, because it's so hard to find these kinds of things. It's so hard to know what to apply for and where to go, and how the nitty gritty of different things that nobody tells you about. And so that's I want to offer those things and do more of those kind of things. What are you most excited about for this channel? I love book clubs, so having a bit of like an online book club, that'd be pretty cool. I'd love that. I love talking to people about books, and ultimately I just really want to find my community and find my people and the audience of people who might be interested in reading my work. I've always wanted to make videos. My little sister and I, like 5 years ago, we made like a whole heap because we were going to do a podcast about our favorite webtoons, and like I never published it. I never even put it out there, and there's been so many times where I enjoyed this kind of process, but I just never got through to the final stages. But now that I'm like, this is work, this will help me with my career, all that kind of like stuff I've been telling myself, I am actually posting them. So that's good. What book series got you into reading? I've done a whole video on this, so we can move on. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Got any advice for a newbie booktuber? Yeah. What challenges do you think starting a YouTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? A lot. I reckon there is a lot. I think like content consistency, and like with, you know, YouTube, it's like you have to wear a million different hats, you know. You're the project manager, you are the photographer and videographer, you are the sound guy, I don't know, they probably got sonographer, maybe that's it. You are the writer of the scripts, the model, the person, the subject, and you are also like there's like, and then you're also the editor of the film, and you know, there's a lot. There's many different things, and getting all those things to work together, that's the harder part. Like, is my microphone gonna work? Are my lights gonna work, or is it gonna rain? Is my camera gonna work? Is my tripod gonna work? Is my editing software gonna work? Am I gonna work today, or am I gonna freak out? Am I gonna break out in acne? Like, you never know. It could be anything. Am I gonna get sick? Yeah. So I think that's going to be hard, especially dealing with myself. I know everyone's like, you can record a whole heap of videos in one day. I can't do that yet. I have to like record, and then I need to sit down and edit it, because current me, present me is cool. She's fine. She's all right. Like, she's like, I did it. It's done. I'm not recording it again. Could I get all my equipment? Is it still there? Yes. Do I want to? No. So she'll be right. And I know nobody else cares, but future me cares. She's like, why did you make that face? Why do you look like that? This should never see the internet. That place where you can't take anything down, and when you put it up there, it's there forever. And she's a wreck. Like, she's not like a full wreck. Like, I love her, but she's not helpful. And so that's why a lot of the past videos I did never saw, you know, my channel or anything like that, because I just couldn't. I don't know. I saw my face the next day, and it was like, oh no, cringe. I can't. I know this needs to be done again. You know, that kind of thing. I'm very much hoping that as I continue with this channel, I sort of get desensitized to that in a way, and I think that would be really good for me. I'm looking forward to that. But until then, I sort of need to like film it and edit it straight away, and then I don't have to look at it again till it's published, sort of thing. And then I'm fine with it. I'm like, we're good. But yeah, I don't know why that's such a thing, but it's just how I feel. It's very weird. It's not helpful, but it's a thing. What else have I got here? When did you start reading? Okay. My mum and her side of the family are all like big bookworms, and they're really, really smart, and they're really cool. They're really like interested in books, and my mum definitely fostered that love of reading. And then my dad's side is all storytellers. Like, they can weave a yarn. They are great, and it's like sort of having those two sides of my family has really helped me along. In keeping with this sort of line of questioning, I'd say I've been writing ever since I think grade 5 was when we learned about sizzling starts, and ever since then it just sort of captured me and drew me in, and I loved it. And I had this idea of like, why don't kids write kids books? Like, we actually know what we want to read, which was a lot of toilet jokes. The kids book did expand on from that, but yeah. And then grade 10, I started working on my YA fantasy novel. And after high school, I went into a online double degree in primary and secondary education. And we were traveling all through North America at the time, which is why it was online. But I got through 2 units and I was like, this is horrible. I do not like this, and I was not enjoying it. And I got into holidays again and I started working on my books, and it was then that I sort of realized I could do this as a career, as a living. I do it anyway. I love it. Like, it's what I do on my holidays for fun, sort of thing. And I never thought of it really, because my spelling and grammar were always so bad. But then it just all sort of clicked, and I really wanted to do that. And it's sort of, this is going to sound kind of bad, but like, learning education and like going into being a teacher, it's this archaic system with a very strict rubric, and you're just teaching the same thing constantly every year to unenthusiastic kids. Whereas writing is sort of like, you get to teach whatever lessons you want. And I know that does sound kind of weird, but it's what really drew me in. Where do you read? Okay, so I read just about everywhere, obviously, and I also thought, I'm trying to do this video as like my most authentic self that I can possibly be comfortable with online. So I'm in, the writers and readers uniform of like pajamas, and I'm not wearing any makeup, which is, I don't know, it's a little scary, but it's okay. And so yeah, I'll get into this next question. So where do I read? I read in bed, I read on the couch, I read at my desk. But I've also started, this is gonna be funny. I've taken up running, kind of. It's a weak, pitiful jog that I'm very red in the face, and it's just horrible. But I started end of last year, and I've gotten through 3 books so far. I've gotten through Jasper Jones, which has some thriller-ish elements, and then I've been going through, let me get it. Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians. Oh, it's something. I wouldn't recommend it. I reckon if you're gonna do it, I haven't read the second one yet or anything like that, but I reckon you'd start with the second one, because this one has a lot. Like, I think it's like the first 5 chapters I would deeply recommend skipping, because they're all just like for trigger warning reasons. It's not nice. And then also the same throughout, because it's just these women trapped on this airship, and they're in horrible conditions, and it's completely against the main part of this book, which is a comedy. It is so hilarious when you're not reading those parts, because it is just so bad. Like, it's really bad. And so if you see anyone running around that's just laughing, that's because of this. Like, it's so bad. And I didn't buy this for myself. Okay, I bought this for an assessment. We were doing contemporary debates in writing, dangerous ideas. That was the class, and we were assigned this topic of which we had to argue in favor of, that there is such a thing as high and lowbrow art. And so I brought this book, and I also brought Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird with me, and I'm like, you can't tell me they're of the same literary quality, basically. And the argument went really well. My favorite way of all, though, is to have the audiobook on while I'm reading the physical copy, and that's like, audiobook on 2-speed is actually faster than I can read it. And it allows me to like listen to it while I'm making notes and like annotating, and I always get so distracted and like start having conversations with the characters or with myself or the literary quality of the book or like something like that, and then I forget to keep reading, whereas the audiobook kind of allows me to do that while I'm in the lulls of the book, kind of thing, and then I can go back to highlighting and annotating when it gets to like a really good moment. So I really like that. It helps me finish the book so much quicker, otherwise it takes me months. And yeah, I don't know, it tickles something at the back of my brain to have so many senses activated at once, because you've got hearing, and it's like this, you know, the old, like you're being read a story kind of thing, and then you've got like the physical touch and feel and smell of the paper, and you're also doing like the annotating, and like you've got that like physical process of what you're doing, and then you're like reading the words and hearing them, and you've also got your imagination all activated. Like, I don't know, I really like it. What kind of books do you like to read? I've definitely expanded my comfort zone for reading with university and everything like that. I'm still a lover of fantasy, romance, graphic novels, all that kind of thing, but now I read a little bit of everything. I've definitely started caring a lot more about Australian authors and supporting them, as well as people in communities that I just want to support, you know, queer work and so many other different things that I don't feel gets enough traction, and that's what I sort of love, like self-published work as well, and emerging writers. Those are the kind of things that I really want to support and read a lot more of. Last question, and I left this one till last because it is such a powerful question. Why do you love reading? So books are generators of empathy. They help you understand other people, and they're such great teachers of the human condition. You're not just seeing someone on a screen, you are inside their body, inside their mind, feeling their thoughts, what they're feeling. And it's such a powerful way to experience different lives and different places in the world and all these different things. And it's amazing, and it's why I love it. Thank you so much for being a part of this discussion. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments or DM me. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. If you're a booktuber, please, I'd love for us to follow each other and support each other. That would be really amazing, and for me to check out your channel as well. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, until the 1st of next month. See ya.